Okay guys, so we've got the Veritas Dowel maker here and we're ready to go ahead and try to make a dowel. So I have this Craig multi-mark and I have it set to 1 1/8 of an inch. And basically, I'm going to use this piece of 2x4. We're going to see what happens if we use just regular 2x4 to try to make a dowel. I'm going to use my table saw. First, I'm going to cut off the ends so that it's not rounded. And then we'll cut it down to the 1 1/8 of an inch. So let's go ahead and get started with that. All right, we got it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this thing set up. So we're gonna do the 1 inch, so we don't need any of the actual inserts. We don't need those. Okay, so we've got the dowel maker here. We're gonna make a 1 inch dowel, and that means we need to have 11.2 revolutions on the front and 7.5 revolutions on the back. So let's go ahead and get this set up. One, we're going to put this 1 inch reducer inside, and there's actually a little notch right here, and you take that notch, you put this in here. There's actually a set screw right there, and we take the smaller Allen wrench, loosen this set screw up, and then you place the insert inside, and then you'll snug it up. Okay, so that's in place. We've got this for our drill. We're going to need the wrenches to actually get this thing set. All right, so now we're going to try to get the actual device calibrated for a 1 inch dowel. So first things first, we're going to loosen this here. Actually, let's loosen the tips first. So we're going to break this screw here, And we're gonna break this other one. Okay, and then once that's broken, then I can take this here, and as you can see, as I push, you can see the actual the blade moving in and out there. So my goal is to so you want this blade, as it toggles back and forth, you want it to be pushed close to the actual body of the machine. And once you get it set there, then you're going to, so if we take a look here, when you move the dial, the blade moves out. And when you turn it clockwise, or actually counterclockwise with my left hand, the blade moves closer to the actual body of the machine. So what I'm going to do is turn counterclockwise until the blade is flush. Once it's flush, then I'm going to tighten this knob, or snug it up rather, like this. And actually, when I do turn it back, I want to make sure in the revolutions that I have it stopped on the 0 point right here. So the blade is as close as it can be to the body, and it's also set in the 0 mark here. So now I'm going to tighten this nut, just snug it up a bit, and then with that snugged up, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tighten this part just a bit. Not too much, because you can actually turn this off of the 0 mark if you do. So I'll tighten that up, and this blade is essentially set for the 1 inch, well, not for the 1 inch, it's basically zeroed. So now, in order to adjust it for the actual 1 inch dowel, I'm going to loosen this here, and I'm also going to loosen this portion. And now I'm going to turn my revolution. So I'm going to go, so I'm at 0, 1 revolution, I'm back at 0. And I'm going to go, okay, let me back up. So once this is bottomed out, okay, we've got it bottomed out, I'm going to pull this nut all the way back. All right, we're bottomed out, and we want it bottomed out at 0. So we're at 0. So this is loose. This nut is loose as well. And when I turn this big screw here is going to go in and out. So I want the blade to go out 11.2 revolutions. So I'm at the 0 mark, and this has tenths all the way around it. So 1 revolution will bring the 0 back to the 12 o'clock portion or place. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm at 11, and now I want to go to 0.2. So now I go 1, 2, and this is where I want to be. So now I want to snug this up here. Oh, I'm going to leave it right there, 0.2. Snug that up so it doesn't move back and forth, right? And then now, with my hand pushing the blade towards the body, I'm going to now tighten up this end screw. And as I said, you don't want to turn it too tight, because then you'll actually turn your number off here. There we go. So we're good, and that's set. So it's 11.2 on the back. And on the front, it tells me right here it's going to be, or the rear rather. So this is the front, this is the rear. It's going to be 7.2. So we're going to do the same process. So I'm going to loosen this. I loosen this nut, I'll pull it all the way back, and then looking at the blade moving to the left, I'm going to pull it all the way back to the base of the machine, and then once I get it to the base, I want to have it at 0. Okay, so that's it. Now, what I want to do with everything loose, I'm going to go 7.2 revolutions. Let's make sure, no, 7.5. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now we're going to go to 0.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where I want to be. So now that I'm in place, I'm going to push the blade. I'm going to push it forward so that the lower portion is up against the body. And I'm going to start to tighten this up. And I'm going to tighten it up just a bit there. Okay, we're bolted in there, and we're good here. Okay. So, ready to go. So now we're set up. So, if you take your piece of wood here, it should fit in here, and it'll cut like this. Okay, so let's put this on here. Put this on here. Let's go get a drill. Pop this in here. Now, of course, we're missing an important part to this. I need to actually pin this down to something, a board or something. So let's do that. I actually purchased an accessory for this so that I can use it on my MFT. So I'm going to go ahead and show that now. All right. So right here, I have the components. I'll put a picture so you can see them. It's got these two columns and a wing nut. So basically on the bottom of the actual Veritas is a threaded hole, and what I can do is just screw this in. And then what that enables me to do, I can put one on the top, on the bottom, or bottom here, and I can take the Veritas, drop it in there, and then I take the other one underneath with the wing nut. All right, so that's not going anywhere. And let's see if my table's gonna push. Okay. All right, let's give it a shot. So, FYI, I have done this before, so I actually know how it's going to turn out. This is just for your viewing. You want the drill to be on the low speed. Got it in drill, and let's give it a shot. So they say you want to do it kind of slow and steady, not too fast. And there you go. I had a lot of this the first time I did this. Okay, so let's cut off the tip and see if we can get it to work. All right, let's give it a shot again. That didn't work. Let's try another piece. Come on, this way. Mm.